Today what I'm going to be doing is giving you my honest opinions and review of the Xbox Series S. A lot of people, when they look at this thing, they look at the front. Okay, I want to show you here on the front that this right here on the left, it's a USB 3 slot. This right here from a distance may look like a headphone jack to some people. And what this is a sync button. If you look at it closely, you can see that it's for syncing up your controllers. You push this button and then you push the button on your controller or vice versa, and they will pair up to one another. Also on the front, you have your power button. You just touch it and it powers your console up. Now, on the top of this thing is where the heat disperses. On the inside, this has a gigantic fan that's right under here. And this is a plastic grill, by the way. And underneath of here, it pulls the heat up into the air. And it does a pretty good job, actually. So as you can see, this is an all digital system, and it does not come with an optical drive, or as some people call it, a disk drive. That means, you will not be putting any physical media into this machine. That takes us to the sides, and on the sides it has the ventilation. And we're gonna look on the other side before we get to the back. On this side, we have the rubber feet. There is no stand attachment. It comes with these little tiny rubber feet. See if I can get you a close-up view of these rubber feet. And there are 4 of them. And there's also 4 rubber feet this way. So if you wanna lay your console horizontally, those rubber feet are going to hold it up slightly and keep it off of the surface that you have it on. Or if you want to set it up vertically, straight up and down, it's going to be able to do that too. On the back of the console, we have the wired Ethernet connection. We have 2 more USB connectors. We have an HDMI out. And then here is the storage expansion slot. Now, as of launch day, these storage expansion, the cards that you get for these are very expensive. They are in between $200 and $220 for a 1 terabyte expansion for a solid state drive, and it would plug in right there. Now, keep in mind, there's about a $200 difference between the Series S and the Series X. So some people, think if you're gonna get an expansion card, you should just go ahead and get the Series X, and instead of, buying the expansion card. But that's still entirely up to you. But if you get this card, it brings it into the price range of the Series X. Also, there is no power brick, as there hasn't been since a couple of years now on these Xboxes. The power brick is inside, and it just takes a regular power cord, as you can see, that it plugs into. Now, design-wise, this is I think it's an attractive looking console. It's very light. It has a small profile. So, is the Xbox Series S better than the PlayStation 5? Is it better than the Xbox Series X? Well, my honest answer to that question, it depends on what you mean by better. Is it going to have better graphics? Is it going to outpower them? Then no, it's not. It's not any of those things, nor was it ever meant to be. What this console is meant to be is an entry-level, next-generation console. This system was built from the ground up with the people on tight budgets and looking for cheaper in every way, but to lose as least amount of quality as possible. And that's what this machine does. It has roughly half the GPU graphical power and has no optical or disk drive for physical media. As a next generation in whole, I think that the hardware is here, but the software has not caught up yet. I think it's going to take a year before we see software that utilize the newer technology, because developers, first party or third party, are not used to developing software for these machines yet. I also think that maybe in future updates, this Xbox is going to be capable of maybe 4K, native 4K in the future, as it unlocks its potential. So, as of the making of this video, this is, to me, is the right budget Xbox if you want to hook it up to your 1080p TV, if you want to hook it up to your 1440p monitor. But don't be discouraged, because all games aren't running even at 1440p or even 1080p, because it's going to take time to learn to develop the hardware architecture of the new Xbox Series S or even the Series X. So with that in mind, just be patient. And if this sounds like the Xbox for you, then you should get one. Don't worry about what other people say. I'm not a fanboy, so I like Xbox and I also like PlayStation, and I know what this console is designed for. Ultimately, this console is designed for people who are on a tight budget, who don't need 4K right off the bat, or need 8K, or all the shiny little backgrounds on the newer TVs. I would also like to mention that the Xbox Series S is backwards compatible all the way to the original Xbox series of games. So that is another reason for having this system. Now, of course, this doesn't take any disc, so you would have to own them digitally on your account, or you can buy digital games off the Microsoft Store, which I'm sure since the launch of the Xbox Series S and it being all digital, they will probably have a sale soon to sell digital games. So, in closing the video, I would just like to add that my honest review, I was not paid by anyone and I bought the Xbox Series S with my own money, that I do think this is a great console for the beginner of the next generation and also the people on a tight budget. I think this would be good to put under the Christmas tree for people as a great gift. If you're a hardcore gamer, I recommend a pass on this, and for you to either get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, and I will be getting those two and doing my honest review on those also. I hope this video has helped.